Hey, welcome to another video with Bogdan Mrzewski, where we make algebra easy for you. In this beautiful video, we'll be learning how to multiply rational expressions. So, best strategy for us to remember, every time you have a question where you have to multiply, you do the factoring. Factoring steps, which means you have something that you would want to express in that form times C over D, right? So you will be thinking of factoring, the first step. Then you would cancel common factors if applicable. So let's say I have this times B over C. So that will be the cancellation and the restrictions at the same time, because once you eliminate those factors, restrictions might not reflect the actual full set of restricted value, and then you multiply across, right? So if I use this, B and C, I have A, B, B, C. So this is this big strategy, and you have cancellation, so this is A over C. So this is what you remember, those three steps, and let's go dive into with a beautiful example that you see right in front of you. Okay, so you have two polynomials that are to be multiplied together, the first one and the second one. And then you have mixed variables, x and y, so it makes more interesting the questions, because if you can do this questions, then you can do any other question that usually it's simpler than that. So by factoring numerator and the denominator, we accomplish the first step, right? So step number one, to factor is so important. So we did this, and then if you want to review how you factor trinomials, it's already done in my past videos, so go for it and learn that if you need to speed up your skills. And the denominator is factor. So now we observe if there are common factors that can be simplified. So because this is a product, therefore you can reduce the statement. So down below you will see copy of the same line, and then x minus 3, y is found for both parts, top and the bottom. It doesn't matter whether it's directly above or just slightly diagonally, but it is the case where you have to look for a factor from the numerator, and the same factor must be present for the bottom part. Then you can reduce it. And if I were to reduce both x minus 5y and minus 3y without thinking of the restrictions at the same time, I'll be missing out on those restrictions in the end. So very, very important restriction steps in step 2 when you reduce and you define the restriction. So before cancellation, x minus 2y, bingo, we have that. We have minus x minus 5y, x minus 2y repeated, and x minus 3y. So we have 1, 2, 3 statements not equal to 0, which simply means whatever x is, it cannot be equal to 2y. Whatever x happens to be, it cannot be equal to 3y and to 5y. So after the step 2 part, we just multiply numerators parts together. So this is why you have in this line the product x minus 3y times x minus 5y. So hopefully that makes sense. And in the bottom, you have x minus 2y, two factors, identical, so they are to be multiplied, times 2. So this is, you want to keep the number always in the front. So that's a sort of a convention that we follow. It doesn't really matter if you were to put 2 at the end. It would not make a difference, but this is sort of the organized way we put constant, the numeral coefficient first, and then variable. So when you expand the numerator, and when you expand the denominator, the law of distribution applies here. So make sure that you understand it. If not, go and watch my other video to review how to multiply polynomials. And then in the end, you simplify each part, And this is it. This is the complete question. And when you cannot factor and simplify, and we already know that this is not possible, so there's no point of factoring it at the end and trying to see if you can make it simpler, because this has been already established. So hopefully this makes sense now, and you becoming a master when working with rational expressions because you know how to multiply. You already probably know, if not, you're going to learn from my other videos how to add, subtract, and divide. So don't miss those videos. So please make sure you watch them and learn the skills. And this is the little algorithm that is summarizes the key sort of step. You make sure that you show in factored form, you cancel the common factor, and then you also recall the restrictions at the same time as the cancellation is about to take place. Hopefully you get that as well. And practice questions. As usually, I want you to implement the skills that you're just learning to solidify your learning process. So this way you would know what to do with any questions that asking you to multiply rational expressions. So make sure you go over that and ask questions in the comments below, share with your friends, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.